Later this year, on December 20th, 2024, Cave Story will be turning 20 years old. I know, I'm really jumping the gun on making this video, but I honestly believe that discussing this historic and monumental event in human history is way better now than it will be post December 20th. And that's simply for two reasons and two reasons only: speculations and highlights. I know, speculation videos are incredibly oversaturated and, in my opinion, are just the filler episodes of online media, but if you give me a chance, I promise I'll turn this into something fun. There's lots of cool things I'd love to highlight in this video as well, but before that, I simply want to ask if something will even be done to celebrate the world's greatest indie game. I know, so many people would think, of course something's gonna happen, it's Cave Story. It'd be a no-brainer to celebrate such a big achievement, not only for Pixel, but Nicalis as well. One of the first IPs they managed to get a hold of and publish was Cave Story, the game that marked the beginning of the huge uprising of indie game. The only reason I feel like there's some means to be skeptical is that it's technically only Cave Story's 20th anniversary. It's not Nicalis' 20th anniversary or anything. But it was their 15th anniversary last year. While not exactly a perfect double anniversary, it is still quite the achievement in the gaming space, especially since in this case, the IP predates the company. Regardless, a big cave moment is coming. I feel it in my gut. As well as, other reasons, but I'll touch on that later. That said though, I just want to highlight a few killer ways it seems Cave Story fans are getting their excitement out with a few projects that have been floating around the community. The first one I want to take note of is something I was actually reached out to about by its creator. Cave Story isn't new to fan-made or remixed soundtracks, far from it actually. I feel like every time I breathe a new soundtrack drops, and I'm not complaining. Even with official mixes, we have Organia, New, Remastered, Ridiculon, and Famitracks. It truly is just a wonderful perk of being in any kind of indie game community. We love our music. That said, I specifically wanted to highlight a project being worked on by user Reski. That being Cave Story FM Mix, which is such a badass name for it. The best part is, I don't even have to show you a video or anything, because it's been playing in this video the entire time. After the current track, I'll change it up and go to official tunes, but if you want to hear the rest of what Reski is cooking up for FM Mix, please check out the playlist link below. It's slowly but surely becoming one of my new favorite ways to listen to some cave jams. So let's all show support to Reski as they finish up the rest of the soundtrack, yeah? Another thing Cave Story isn't new to is remakes and ports. We have 2 official remakes, dozens of ports, both official and fan-made, as well as fan-made remakes like Cave Story Encore. That project has gotten its own entire video, if you haven't seen it by the way. But today, I want to point everyone's direction towards a project I've been begging to exist. And that's bringing all of the Cave Story 3D content into normal, classic 2D Cave Story. One thing I feel like I should mention is that this project is far from new though. The mod was actually dropped late summer of last year, but regardless, I feel like I had to mention it given how much of a dream addition this has been to me. Huge thanks to YouTuber SKELUX for all their efforts into making this cool addition happen. The project is officially called Cave Story 3D 2D, and it's exactly as I described, and I just love it way too much. Once again, this as well will be linked in the description, with the whole project having a nice little how to play guide bundled with it. Thanks again, SKELUX. If you're looking to spruce up regular Cave Story though, I gotta show you guys the Cave Story HD mod being made by KeyLowVG. Once again, I'll leave a video that they made for the project in the description below, cause seeing it in motion is just truly magical. Go show it some love. For now, I will show some screenshots that they've also provided to show how much love is being put into the project. KeyLowVG is doing such an incredible job of making the art in the project be good and faithful to the original sprite work from Cave Story, and it looks wonderful. Once again, huge thank you to KeyLowVG for allowing me to show this off to you guys. Please send them some love with the links down below. And listen, I get it. I've been gone from consistent uploads for quite a while now, and I'd love to continue to ramble more about some dope as hell fan projects and works being done, but I think it's about time we talk some official stuff. What could possibly be going on for Cave Story? Well, while this project hasn't received any updates at all since I last talked about it, I feel like it's at least worth mentioning the idea of Cave Story. I know I've beaten this horse to death and more, but it's still something fans hold as a possibility for something big like Cave Story's 20th anniversary. And I'll give it to you crazed fans, it certainly would be dope as hell to drop as a celebration of the game. Once again, I've already said I've thrown in my towel for belief, but to you brave, hopeful soldiers from the surface out there, I salute your cause and willpower. I hope that one day you'll get to rub a huge fat "I told you so" right in my comment section. Until then, we've got some pretty big news that broke out since the last time I talked about Cave Story on this channel. Along with the last Cave Story teaser that we got a while back, we also got some killer gameplay footage of what appeared to be the Doctor just absolutely demolishing a more simple version of Quote in the Blade Stranger's engine. And the reason why I describe it like that is because I purely believe that this appeared to be some beta or upcoming version of Blade Strangers, and it still very well could be, but after some further updates, I'm not so sure that this is just one simple update. I think what we're looking at is some kind of full-scale sequel, or maybe even an entirely Cave Story based fighting game. And if that's real, I'd probably cry my eyes out. I know I don't discuss it much, but I'm a huge fighting game fan. I watch EVO like it's my own World Cup or Super Bowl. Some more recent teasers have included what looks like talking artwork of Toriko, the plantation as its own stage, and even the red fucking ogre? All of this bundled up in a 2v2 Cave Story fighting game? I swear, these pictures feel like I'm just hallucinating since I haven't been splurging about Cave Story on the internet in a while. All of this on top of Nicholas's founder, Tyrone Rodriguez, asking the community this? Can we expect some kind of weird misery teaser soon? More importantly, where the hell is Kenpachi? He's a must. All of this new stuff I've missed, on top of things like the Doctor gameplay, the Mimiga Village screenshot, and even the Balrog teaser, really makes me wonder just what the hell is this project? Blade Strangers 2? Cave Fighters? The Red Crystal Crushers? Whatever it's called, I'm all in. That's right, baby, we've jumped from the Cave Story train into the Cave Story fighting game train. I know, I'm really jumping the gun and getting a little too excited. I could be setting myself up for just some absolute major disappointment. I mean, seriously, it's not like there's anything major or connecting to Cave Story about it. I feel like we would need to see that, I don't know, somehow Pixel himself was involved. Oh my god.